there's a brief moment while the kids are occupied right now playing with their games. We just finished homeschool day. It's hard to keep them focused. Had a great conversation with a amazing person I worked with more than 10 years ago. Can't believe it's been 10 years. We've been in contact, but it's awesome to reconnect just over phone. We're going to set up a working session next week when the kids are away and have time to focus a little bit more. Some possible partnerships or kind of joining of forces on a couple ideas that we have. I have produced a number of 1980 properties since I've launched the business, graphic facilitation. I got one on video production. A lot of the stuff just doesn't apply anymore in a post-COVID-19 world. This is going to be a phrase that's kind of like post 9/11 very soon. I created a virtual consulting sign-up page plus a tutorial. So I created a landing page on Card. That's just a really quick landing page website builder. And used Calendly as my scheduling system. And so that's hooked to my Office or Microsoft 365 account, which has my calendar. It creates open 1-hour blocks during the day. And I have an integration to Zoom, so when a meeting's set up, it auto sets up a Zoom meeting. And then Stripe integration for payment, so people charge $200 an hour to spend with me, just to make the friction involved in working together virtually zero. I think today, just contracting, all that stuff is super hard. This is something you can just charge on a credit card and expense it. That's just a traditional model I have open out there. I don't think it's the long-term path for me. Happy to do it and support anyone, but it's not a profitable or a very fulfilling path. I am continuing to build out this 1980 product. It's a membership-based product, and I'm going to have the first training course set up in there, as well as other resources in the future. But for now, I'm really excited on how it's shaping up. Built it in Webflow and then added MemberStack on top of it for membership, payment processing, and gating. And the intent behind all that is to build a business that's democratized, that's accessible to the general population. Consulting is not accessible to the general population or even to any clients. It's just too expensive. You can't charge someone $200 an hour for a long duration of time and expect them to pay it, nor should they. And so this is a mechanism to make things accessible to everyone, and it's going to be the same tool sets, same tools I bring to any client engagement. Why pay massive amounts of fees when you could just access these tool sets yourself? And so hopefully to disrupt the consulting business. Looks like the weather storm is finally coming in. It's going to start raining, but it's been a nice sun break for the last couple days. Really appreciating the time here. Hey, this vlog series is pretty awesome. I'm going to keep it going because I know a lot of people are watching. I appreciate all of you. I know Sean, Pam, to name a few. And if you're getting this, definitely hit me up with a response. I got a bunch of stickers in envelopes ready to go. Just hit me up with your address and I will mail some out to you. Coffee.
So scared. His legs are so scared.
Okay. Well, in between trying to keep the children educated and entertained and then hopping in and out of calls, meetings, and brainstorming, it's been a challenge. I think one of the things I'm learning is that maybe as we move into this post-COVID world, that we need to do more asynchronous communications. And that means, if you think of every parent that's home with their kids, just having these in-person meetings is not going to work. So we need to be communicating and working on things back and forth. So there's a social media app that I use to communicate with my family called Marco Polo. You send a video message, they receive it on their own terms, and then they respond back. And so I think, how do we do that with work? How do we take a component of a meeting, send it out, in the form of a video or recording, and then have people react and then work on that product or whatever thing we're working on back and forth. And you're not tied to rigid timelines of meetings. This whole concept of sitting 9 to 5 is quite stupid if you think about it. Like, it just doesn't work with our lives. And if we ever get to the point where we got to keep our kids at home or we got to stay at home, it is definitely not going to work. And so we can create a more inclusive culture by communicating and working on things in an asynchronous form. So synchronous communications is I say something, you say something back right away. Asynchronous means I say something, I send it over, and you send something back, and it goes back and forth, but it's not driven by the presence of being there. And so Zoom meetings, while great, is just a digital replica of our meeting in the office. It just happens to be virtual. So that is not an improvement to the process. It's just simply taking an existing thing and digitizing it. Asynchronous communication, I think, and let's call it not just communication, asynchronous work is the future where we are working on something and we send it back and forth. It really reminds me of Google Wave back in the day. It was a product that I was very excited about, and it got no traction because people didn't comprehend what it was. But it was a concept of, I can hop in and out of a work session or a chat and collaborate in real time, like synchronous communication, working together, or respond back later and hop in my own terms and kind of see the flow of things. So I'm going to work on that, think about how to bring that into the workplace. I had a cool call with one of my colleagues yesterday, and we're exchanging a Google Doc right now, just to seeing how much alignment between our businesses and whether there's an opportunity to do a joint venture together. We're working on a Google Doc, so I said, hey, I'm going to be very erratic and sporadic, and she's the same, and we're just going back and forth, and this document's getting built out, and it's actually probably going faster than we just sit together in a room for a long period of time. So maybe that is the future of work. Hey, I'm in my home office. It's my messy bedroom back there. Decided to pop up the 3D printer because there's got a little bit of downtime and wanted to keep my mind fresh during this little lull time. But 3D printer, been playing around with a little bit and trying to keep my skills a little sharp, printing out an origami 3D Puma, and not sure how the quality is going to be, but we'll see. Hey, it's the end of the week, and it's been a brutal time. I think this virus thing is definitely rippling through. I'm seeing a lot of friends getting laid off, and amazing people also getting laid off. And so I've been using my Airship sketch note idea book by Mike Rohde, and I've been doing some sketches. So yesterday I did one just on pausing, reflecting, and today I did one on finding your tribe. It's just been a good practice. One, gets a little bit of visibility as I'm posting on LinkedIn. Those posts get quite a bit of views, and I think just at this point we just need to stop being salesy and trying to kind of sales stuff right now. People don't need that. And so I'm going to focus on just building the brand, continuing to plow forward. Applied for a couple loans and just shifted some finances around to weather the storm, and hopefully we'll find a way to ramp up towards the end of the year. I'm expecting this thing to pass, and then all of us scrambling to get things back in order again. So there should be quite a bit of work. We just have to weather it through. Hey, thanks for watching this vlog. I know there's quite a bit of my favorite fans. If you got to the end of this, send me a direct message with your address, and I got a whole stack of envelopes pre-stamped and with stickers in there, and I'd love to send you one for supporting me. I appreciate that.